Hi friends, this is Jazz O'Brien, a realtor with Remax Blueprint. I thought to put up a video here about subdivision because a lot of people call me and ask about random questions. So I thought let me put up a video together and try to address all those questions and concerns. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Hello friends, today I'm going to talk about the subdivision properties, and what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to split it into 4 parts. First would be the due diligence, second would be the timing process, third would be the mortgage, and the fourth but not the least, ROI. So let's start with the first point, due diligence. So basically what is subdividable property is pretty much, I hope everybody understand, but the people who don't know is going to be divided into 2 or more lots, piece of land, that is called subdivision. What are the steps you have to look into it is the first and foremost is about the OCP, official community plan, whether the community plan supports it, because a lot of time people have been mistaken that you have to look into the frontage and the depth of the property and you can just simply divide it if it is the certain amount of frontage it is there. Unfortunately, that's not the right way to look into it. The first thing you have to do is look into the OCP. If you don't know how to look into it, you can call the city, they can tell you. If it is no, they will pretty much tell you over the phone in the planning department. You can reach out to him, and if it is yes, they're not going to say to you, yes, you can subdivide. What they say, they're kind of diplomatic. You have to understand on the chairs they're sitting on, the responsibility they have it. They're not going to give you yes answer, but they will say that looks like you can subdivide it, but you have to put up an application and do the process. So the next bet to make it confirm is approach to the civil engineer. Civil engineer can tell you whether this can be done or not. The third step would be, if you wanted more due diligence, is get the land surveyor involved. Okay, so with the land surveyor, it will go to the civil engineer, and civil engineer can confirm it, yes, it supports the subdivision and what would be the size of the land going to be. Another more important part, guys, you have to be making sure is about the trees, not only on your property but as well as on your neighboring properties, because a lot of people only focus on their properties. Actually, matter of fact, on your own property, if there is any trees which is going to be coming into the building envelope, chances are city will allow you to cut it, and then will ask you to replace it with the 2 more trees in there, or they will ask for the cash in lieu. But you have to be also focusing on the neighboring properties, and how to look into that is hire the arborist. The arborist report will tell you when you're going to be subdividing, are you going to be encroaching into neighbors' properties, and you have to cut those trees. Chances are if you're going to be getting those trees cut it out, you have to be making sure before you getting into the buying that property, talk to the neighbors whether they will allow it. I've seen it in this industry and my own experience, sometimes neighbors give you a hard time to do that, and if you cannot do that, your whole project is jeopardized. City is not going to give you the approval, and you won't be until you get your application to the first or second reading, third reading, then only you will be able to do it. So make sure before you getting into the contract formally, have your all aspects being covered: civil engineer, city, land surveyor, arborist. Try to do as much due diligence you can do it, because guys, I know this process might get you about $4,000 to $5,000, but it's worth it because you're going to be spending millions of dollars and you don't want it to waste your money. So the second part is timeline. People get confused when they buy the property that the timeline is going to be about 6 to 8 months. If somebody tells you to 6 to 8 months you will be able to subdivide the property with the building permit, it's wrong. It's not true, guys. So how it works is the overall process is going to be taking somewhere around 2 years minimum. I'll break it down the process, how it works is. The first process is you have to get the rezoning done. Remember, the property you're going to be buying is going to be different rezoning, and then you have to get it rezoned to the smaller lots. So that process is going to take about 6 to 8 months. There is a process, it goes to first reading, second reading, and third reading. Some people call it a PLA, or you can call it as a third reading. So third reading itself takes about 6 to 8 months. Second step is getting the fourth reading, which then the civil engineers get involved. So the civil engineers are going to be telling you exactly the cost of the civil cost is going to be. There have been perceptions that there's a ballpark, people take it, okay, one lot is going to cost you $70,000 to subdivide it, or $100,000, $150,000, which is not true. Civil engineer is the right person to tell you how much it's going to cost, because there's a lot of other things involved in it. It's not a simple math, okay, it's $100,000. let's divide it into two. It's going to be 200,000 to do subdivided the property. No. Go always check with the civil engineer how much it's going to cost you. Sometimes, especially on the corner properties, you may have ended up more, because if let's say there's a corner property you're going to be subdividing, and if one house is facing this side and another house is going to be facing on this side, you have to make the side curve also. So that side walk, everything need to be added into your cost. People get mistaken there, they don't add those costs, and they get to know about later on when the civil engineer submits the drawings. So once the civil engineer is going to be making up a pro forma, that pro forma is going to go to the city, and city is going to be asking for the security deposits on the basis of civil engineer cost is going to be estimated. So always sit with your civil engineer, run your numbers, and then get into the property to be buying it. So the third step is the mortgage, is the most important part. So you can get two types of mortgages: residential and commercial. Let me explain you first residential, how it works. So if you're getting into a residential mortgage, make sure you have substantial amount of money, more than the down payment you are getting approved for. The reason for that is, most of the time the appraisal of the property is not going to come to the number what you have purchased it, because the owner is selling you the property on the basis of subdivision, but the bank is not looking into that. They are going to be financing you that property on the basis of just purely investment property as a residential property, and the appraisal doesn't matches that number. So for example, if a property you have purchased it for $1 million, appraisal most likely is going to come around $900,000. So, and you have approved for 20% down, so that down payment whatever you're putting, you have to come up with another $100,000 extra on top of it. So have your finances in place to make sure that that works. And the second part is commercial. Commercial is pretty straightforward. Yes, those banks, commercial lending, they will get you the mortgage on the basis of just purely commercial, and then you don't have to worry about the extra down payment. But on the commercial side, the interest rate is going to be higher. There will be lending fees also involved in it. So the best bet would be have little extra money, get it residential mortgage, wait until the PL is done, the third reading is being done, and then you can convert it into, once you're getting into DP, when you're going to be starting the services, then you can convert it into a commercial side. That would be more beneficial. But there's both the choices you can go with. So the last part is, but by no means least, is ROI. What's a return on investment is when you buy a subdivided property, and should you buy it compared to the regular property? In my personal opinion, yes, definitely. If you have the finances in place and you have the money, you should always go for the subdividable property. The reason for that is the appreciation on the subdivided property after getting it rezoned is going to be much higher than the regular property. For example, if you have a regular land for 10,000 square feet and you sell it after 2 years, the appreciation of that property is going to be much lower than the property which you is subdividable. Get it rezoned up to third reading, the PLA. It would cost you around $15,000 to $20,000, and then sell it. You will be making much more money on it. Another thing about this is, a lot of people get mistaken that when they're looking to the subdivided property, they have to construct home on it, they have to develop it. You can do that too, if as long as you have a builder license, or you have a friend or a family person who's a builder who know what they're doing it. Otherwise, you can just simply buy a property, get the PLA done, because until the PLA, there's not much of a work you have to do it. You can hire the good professional, the consultants, and those people will behind the scenes do all the process for you and get you the third reading. And at that during time, if the market is hot and you're making up a good money, you can sell it. Or the other backup plan is, usually the PLAs in most of the municipalities is good for 1 to 2 years. Hold the property until the PLA is, and if even that process, the PLA gets expired, you can always get it renewed. It takes few $1,000s and it can get renewed. It's much easier than, you don't have to go through the overall process again. And I'll give you a prime example why I'm a fan of subdividable property is, my clients purchased a property in Delta in 2018 for 1.1 million. It was a subdividable property. They have to redo the application and everything. They got it done for the third reading, and now the value of that property is 1.6 million. Isn't that crazy? $500,000 in less than 3 years. That's the reason I wanted you guys to buy subdividable property. You guys have a wonderful day. This is Jazz Abroad with RE/MAX Blueprint.
Cool.